And that's just an alliance thing. Like Hack totally wouldn't do that if
Yeah,
he was more
totally. Yeah,
PvP.
Right. Because
no,
I feel like in TBC,
definitely not.
Horde's got more class.
Yeah, definitely.
Where if I do it, people don't trust that I did it. So like, I'm kind
That's
of
true.
I'm kind of torn whether to do it or not. So
Uh,
'cause there was another picture I took where I turned around and like 40 Horde just ran over me. Or no, 40 Lions just ran over me. Like I turned and there was no way I was gonna be able to stop that. So I just repaired. Like,
just take a picture for the memories.
all right, good morning, folks. Thank you for waking up with some morning wood this bright Sunday, June 6th. We're going to be rolling into episode 19, talking about this week in the World of Warcraft. It's going to start this Tuesday, June 8th. We got all the boys here. We got Hakkd. We got Mr. Thunderfury. Let's see here. I guess we will jump right on into Mythic Plus for the week. So we're on the third rotation, the third week of it. We're rolling into Fortified, Spiteful, and Grievous. So, of course, Fortified, non-boss enemies, 20% more health, inflicting up to 30% more damage. Spiteful is where the ghost guys come up, where fiends rise from the corpses of non-boss enemies and pursue random players. And then we got Grievous, the damage tick. So that's when you're damaged, you suffer increased damage over time until you're healed to full. I guess, what are you guys thinking? This is a good push week, right?
Fuck Spiteful, dude.
It
Like,
it's a
it eats up so much time.
they nerfed that though. They nerfed it pretty
Did
hard.
they?
Yeah. The big thing is Grievous. No healers like to heal Grievous weeks. But overall, not a horrible week, you know.
Yeah, I mean Grievous isn't so bad since BFA though. Either.
So
With with each direct heal taking off a stack, because it used to just be really fucking hard when somebody got to 5 stacks, and 5 stacks didn't drop until they were full health.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And also they're dispellable. Is that right? Are they
No.
dispellable?
No, but it's a bleed, so Kyrian Vial takes it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember that because So it doesn't matter for me because I am a dwarf on this
Oh,
week.
yeah, that too. That'll take it too.
well, you're a night elf main now, right?
Well, it
Or
matters.
did we
It
go
goes from
back?
week to week, right?
Okay.
So on weeks like this, yeah, paladin dwarf, good to go.
This is my new main this week. Alright, so you said Spiteful got a nerf. What did they nerf? Did they fix that where you're stuck having to wait for them to take like mechanics, like the flights and Spire?
They actually decreased the hit range on them, and you can
Oh.
actually, if you can max range hit them without them hitting you now.
Oh, for
Okay.
melee.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
which is kind of
That's not
huge.
too bad. Yeah, that way you don't have to kite as far.
Did they do
just-
anything about the mechanics, like when you're trying to take the flights and Spire and you have to wait it out? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, that's still a thing.
I feel like
But-
that'd be the best change.
Yeah, but you could also, I mean, in that case, if you're waiting on it for something like that, you can just stun it up and nuke it down real fast, right?
And for instances like that one and Miss, you can't go through the portals until everything's dead.
Right.
Those are usually the go-tos on those. Is just group them up, AoE them down.
Yeah. Because normally, like, just for efficiency and speed, you would try to just run away from them and let them die on their own. But in that case,
Right.
kill them.
Right. With the whole Druid being the Master Mythic Plus, just Mass Root, move on with your day. Or
Yeah.
Tornado Vortex. So. All right.
Pretty
And then
much.
Valor Cap also is going to go up to 14,750. We got some updates here on the 9.1 affix. This is the 10 affix, right? Like the replacing Prideful.
Seasonal.
So what is it called? Is it something besides the 4 lieutenants? That's what I've just been referring it to.
It's not called Awakening, but it's Awakening. Without the skips.
Let's fix new lieutenants. All right, so the kind of quick lowdown of this is there's going to be 4 lieutenants throughout the Mythic that you're running, and they all have an aura that they basically will give to the final boss if you don't kill them. So we'll see how that plays out. If it's something where Awakening, was that the one we dealt with the 4 guys with the little pillars back in BFA?
No, that was no.
No, Awakening was when all the ghosts came up. It was
Yeah.
BFA fixes.
God, what was it called? Yeah. But it's similar to that, the 8.3 last season fix. Except I think they're gonna be in like random-ish spots. So you kind of don't have, like, from what I was reading, things don't have to have like a perfect.
No, he was
route.
right. Awakening. The 4 obelisks was awakened.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. I mean, they're gonna be in like kind of set as spots because you can see them on the map, like when you go into a dungeon, and so we won't really see if that's gonna change from week to week until this next week.
Right.
But what's nice is they don't interact with other mobs. So, for instance, if you pull them, you pull them through other mobs, it won't pull the other mobs. Or if you pull them other mobs through them, it won't pull.
Oh, okay.
But they do have true sight.
So it looks like they're going to have 4 different auras. So one's going to be a 50% movement reduction. One's going to be a damage over time effect. Then a 50% damage. 50% increased physical damage taken and a 50% reduction to healing. I feel like the speed one may not be the worst one to pull into a boss fight, depending on what the mechanics are.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what the mechanics of the boss fight are. Like, a 50% movement speed might fuck you over on, like, the last boss of the other side. You know? Like, moving right, left, getting to the portals and shit. You might not be able to do it with 50% movement speed.
Yeah, they kind of designed it to be that you can't do them with the last boss.
I kind of like the design of it because that's not like movement speed isn't going to be punishing on every single last boss. It's going to be there's going to be bosses where it doesn't really matter and you can decide to do that. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one where movement speed wouldn't matter on the last boss, and I can't.
Same. Yeah, Theater of Pain. Movement speed would kind of hurt.
Yeah, Spires, definitely not.
I mean, you don't really need that much movement speed for the last boss of Mists, do you?
I mean, yeah, because...
Well,
yeah,
spread out.
you do.
There's the spread out mechanic, and then there's the
but
green balls.
And the green shit on the ground.
Yeah, but it's not like, oh my god, I need to do this right now. Like, I feel like there's plenty of time for that shit.
Well,
there is, but not when you're slowed by 50%, right?
Well, exactly. It would just make it like, oh shit, I need to get out of, like, start moving right now.
So let's go down the list with it. So the other side would be a pain because you got to move it all around the map. Halls of Atonement, not so much probably, right? Like that's not a big one.
Yeah, it is because you have to move to avoid the statues. You have to.
You have plenty of time on that one. You have plenty of time on that one. 50% move speed on that fight, like.
No, I don't think you guys understand how slow 50% move speed actually is.
Oh no, I do.
It sucks, dude.
Plenty of time, dude.
But
I mean, like, if you're a demon hunter, I guess it doesn't matter. The move speed doesn't matter if you're a demon hunter.
Well, also think of it like there's only one instance where you need, like, absolute, like, reactive movement speed on that fight. and it's only if a statue is facing towards you. Use a movement cooldown. Like, everybody has something that would give them plenty, because you don't really need move speed. Once they're all in, it's literally a sidestep to get out of the wrong spot.
Well, here's the thing too: is it's movement speed, right? But that's not all that happens. I mean, you have to. If I understand right, basically, they also get the abilities. Is that what happens?
It sounds like it's just the aura from what I saw. Like, the ad gets the aura and their ability, but the final boss just gets the aura.
Okay. I know that the one that everybody is freaking out about and that they're going to say is like the toughest one is the healing reduction one. 50% healing reduction.
Yeah.
They said the other ones are manageable. So, I don't know. I mean, I have no doubt that you'll be watching the MDI and you'll be seeing people definitely pull
Some crazy stuff
with that shit up. Just I think for the average person, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also that's not going to be an average person thing. An average person is going to pull all the lieutenants in their.
Right, and then also you got to think that you don't get that buff too, which a lot of those are really nice.
Right, and there's the other side of it is each lieutenant you kill opens up the anima power list.
Right.
And so none of these are the goofy ones. Like, it's not going to be, oh look, Thunderfury got blow bubbles for the next rest of the instance. It's actually going to be like powerful stuff.
Yeah, and what's really cool too is you can choose between the three, right? And at least for me, like looking at this from a tanking aspect, each one of the tanks has a strength and a weakness, and it's really kind of like you can choose something that will make you more powerful and something you already kick ass at,
Right.
or something that brings you up to speed that you're not as good at.
That's true. I don't know. I'm curious to see the implementation, like actually playing it, because it can sound cool all day. Like, tons of things that they put in the game sound cool, and then you play them and you're like, this is fucking terrible. This is so stupid, right? So, curious to see how it actually plays.
Well, and they're adding anima powers that are like dungeon affixes. Like, did you see that?
Yeah, a few of those are actually pretty cool. Some of them are just like stupid.
Yeah.
Right. I was watching a video by Preach, and he's like, it's cool at first. So, like, if you're the person that does this like once a week, it's gonna be cool to see like what this does. But if you're the 10 dungeon Andy that does the 10 every week, it's gonna be like, well, oh, okay, this comes up, we got a min max. Here's Volcano. Like, I'm grabbing this every time. It's not gonna be as cool if you do so many of them.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what WoW has always been. Is you have all these choices, but there's only one right choice.
Right. Yeah. All right. So that's gonna cover that. Was there a couple other like tiered affixes rolling out? Right, like not just the 10. There was like a 4 and a 7.
So. Not that I saw, but
yeah, I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't kept up too well.
Okay, so maybe it was all this 10 that they were talking about, hypotheticals, and then this one finally was announced of how it's going to break down. All right. Anything else on the Mythic Plus side of things?
I mean, if I had time, ideally what I would do is make a PTR account, try them out. But I mean, Classic launched. Come on now. I mean,
Right.
TBC launched. So.
Even maybe if I had absolutely nothing to do, but I usually don't get on the PTR because the only reason I play WoW is to progress my actual character.
Yeah. It's nice to kind of test out shit, though. Yeah. I mean, like, be like, okay, well, this sucks, or this doesn't.
Yeah, I just figure there's definitely a lot of people in the community that know better than me. I would just be piddling around.
And I feel like a lot of the PTR stuff is like a group goes in there together. Like it's
Right,
5 people
right.
you know, not just like I'm gonna go in there and try and pug it. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to go and potentially broken stuff with a bunch of randos. All right, good deal.
I do agree.
So that'll wrap up Mythic Plus of the week. Knock out the world bosses for you guys still getting those memories if you're just starting out WoW for whatever reason, mid longest patch ever. We got this week Nurgash Muckformed. He's in the northwest side of Revendreth. This is the big sleepy giant that takes that sleep halfway through the fight. This one's going to be for the Destro Warlock, the Unholy DK, and then the Demon Hunter. It's going to have those memories out there. Demon Hunter, not so much. It's going to be the erratic Fel core that makes your Fel Rush have reduced cooldown. Nobody uses this, so it's not really a need. Unholy DK, though, this is going to be your best in slot for AoE fights. So Mythic Pluses, any big AoE fights, you can get your Frenzied Monstrosity. And then Destro Warlock is going to have the Madness of Ajakir. It's not used a lot. It's pretty low. A couple people use it for Mythic Pluses, and when I say couple, we're talking like 1, maybe 2 out of 100 people. So not a big deal there. So again, Unholy DK. Yeah, Unholy DK. Get out there, get it. Anybody else that hasn't got the gear yet, I don't know where you've been. All right. And then raid numbers. So Cutting Edge took a big jump this week. We were at 1479 last week. We're at 1679. So 200 more guilds got it compared to the jump before. The week before was 100. It jumped up 200 more. A lot of those being Horde.
I was about to say, what are like 180 of those Horde?
Well, so Horde went from 1134 to 1287. So about 150 of that. But then Alliance went from 345 to 392. So they went up another roughly 50 also. So Alliance made a pretty big jump. And I think, Hakkd, you're saying this was because Donnie got a nerf?
Yeah, they put out a nerf for Mythic only on Denathrius. It is phase 3 begins at 37% health instead of 40. So I really wish they would do that for Heroic too. But it probably shifts the timing of everything back into place where you can push into phase 3 at a proper time.
You know, I gotta say, mad props to guilds who are still grinding out shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, man. It's been like how long? And if you're still grinding on like Mythic, like to get progression, that would be maddening, right? I mean,
also, I'm sure as soon as these guilds that are getting it now are killing Denathrius, everybody's quitting.
Yeah.
I promise. Like, those guilds are disbanding after they're done. So they're just pushing for that kill, saying, all right, fuck this. We're out. We'll see you in, like, fucking 9.3. We'll come back at 9.3. We're done.
Yeah, I mean, like in Might, I logged in a few times in a retail, and man, even with our community, it's just a ghost town in there, man.
Well, I mean, look at how long 8.3 was out, which was still a decent amount of time, and we still had 10 people on every day.
Well, I mean, people were excited about the expansion. Now people are just like,
yeah, it wasn't just that though. Like, I personally think Mythic Plus was in a way better spot. And I mean, at that point during 8.3, everything was kind of more fun, like lockdown. Once everybody had their essences and shit figured out. Well, Corruption vendor was out, all that.
That final tier, yeah, with Corruption, where you just like were ridiculous. Like tanks were just blowing everything up with all the Twilight Dev and.
Yeah, I mean, like here's the thing.
I think people probably just had reasons to play because they still wanted to get a certain corruption set up. It's probably why, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got to make it fun for your key classes. If it's not fun to tank, then your tanks aren't going to play, and then
Right.
it's going to be harder for your DPS to get in anything, right? So,
That is true.
All right, so a few people are out there still racing for that cutting edge. Might took the week off because TBC dropped, and I guess the leaders went on vacation, so there was a little lull, and it will get back up to full form here again next week. Did you guys take a look at TBC raids, like the TBC raid world first kills in the first 24 hours? Did you guys watch anything on those?
No, I mean, we heard, obviously heard about it when it happened. Like, oh shit, world first mag down.
yeah.
Okay, that's done.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be 61. So,
All right. Like, it's such a different world from how world first races work in retail to how these like old bosses. It wasn't so much the multiple attempts in the bosses, it was basically just who got to the boss first.
Well, those guys are also like private server sweaties. Like, they've been playing this for the past 15 years. Like,
Right.
for most of everybody that played BC, it's been 14, 15 years. These guys have been playing it the entire time. They've fucking planned these routes for years on how to level as quickly as possible. And
Right, and then leveling's not even a thing with the world first, really, right? Because they're leveled up. It's kind of just waiting now for it to open up. Like, it's not so much. This was more a leveling race, and then whoever won the leveling race is the one that got the win. So since progression, they beat Apes because they basically had quests stacked up to give them almost an extra level on the leveling jump. So that was, from the videos I watched, was their main variable to it. And the fact they went in there with not all 70s, like the fact they can go and kill these bosses with 68s, and imagine getting a world first nowadays with somebody not max level.
Well, Apes did the same thing for Molten Core when Classic launched. They had like 55s, 58s, 56s, like.
Yeah, definitely a whole new world there. But slowly, as the rest of us get there, we'll keep you updated on our progress of stepping back into the world of Kara and June. It'll probably, I think we'll get into Kara and clear it before we get a new 9.2, 9.1. Where are we at on that? 9.1 is the next one that we're waiting on.
I have no idea. I still don't think there's any information on like release dates.
no. It won't be too close to this launch, I don't think, because they want to space it out. So it'll probably be like
I don't
the
even think
beginning
they
of
care
July,
about it.
mid-July, something like that.
All right. Good.
Do you really think they care about like doing these release dates too close together though? Really?
I mean, it makes sense for World of Warcraft to maintain subs, right? Because you get the same, you can play both with the same sub.
Right.
So, I mean, for me, I don't care, but I'm sure Blizzard does.
So there's got to be a variable of having at least a month out to at least get the 30-day re-up, if not a quarter out to get either potential quarter re-ups. Or when they know there's going to be a big delay of at least 6 months, they're like, here's a fancy space boat. Spend 6 months and lock it because we don't have anything coming out for the next 6 months. So
yeah, you can get the Lucky Yoon mount and Imp in a ball toy.
Right? Because they'll do that, and you'll buy this fancy mount for 6 months, and the next content will come out 7 months. So that 6 months expires, and then you've got to re-up on the 7th month is when the next content drop falls. So,
I mean, you say you'll buy. I ain't fucking buying shit.
well, I already do the 6 month sub, so I get them for just how I pay for it. So it wasn't a big deal, but
I thought they Did they? Is 6 months still a thing? Because didn't they like switch everything around?
They only switched it up for like the prepaid cards. That's the only thing. That changed.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right, good deal. So let's knock out the WoW events here. So this weekly event, we got the World Quest bonus event. You go knock out 10, 20, however many of those fun, engaging World Quest to pick up like 20 acorns. All right, so
Right there's how many I'm doing.
I'm just getting 0 of those done.
0.
All right, get those, maybe those rep and the Paragon for you guys, you collector Andes out there that want to get mounts or whatever have you from the rep grinds. We also got Dark Moon Fair started up this week. So is it in TBC also, do you know? Or is it just a retail thing? It's the same calendar, right?
Is Dark Moon Fair in TBC?
It was in Classic, so...
I think so, yeah. I don't know if it's the same calendar, but I would assume.
Huh. Okay.
I think it was weird in Classic. I feel like it wasn't the same faction. Like, I feel like it flopped between Thunderbluff and Elwyn. I feel like Classic had something weird like that.
Well, that's how it is in retail too. Like,
well,
or
no,
at
we
least
can always
or for a long time it was like that. That's just Horde and Alliance's entrances.
Yeah, you used to
Alliance entrance is in Elwyn and Horde entrance is in Thunderbluff.
But is it? I thought I heard in Classic only one's up at a time. Like it's out in Thunderbluff this month, and next month it's out in Elwyn. Is that not a thing?
No, not that I've ever heard of. But
I
also never paid attention to that really.
I do remember that you having to travel to do that. And then they did what? They put up the portals, right? And I don't think that happened until post Lich King. So, yeah, because I remember having to actually go to stupid Tauren place and get that. So,
Thunderbluff is amazing. You hush.
I guess if you like falling to your death.
That's true.
Apparently that's a thing in Shat too, with the Aldor and the Scryers going up those the shelves. If you go look at the
elevator bosses.
Yes. There's a ton of skeletons. If you get to Shat, just go walk by there. People are still dying. There's just a pile of skeletons kind of in the same spot on those elevators, so people haven't realized that yet.
Yeah, well, like TBC was the first time that they introduced the entire elevator thing, right?
Thunderbluff always had elevators.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like in
everyone
for Alliance.
For Alliance. So
Alliance that couldn't figure out elevators.
So yeah, because I remember in the instance, what is it? The one with Lady Vash.
Serpent.
They have the huge elevator there, like at the very beginning of the instance, for no apparent reason, right? Except for to kill you.
Except for to kill you.
Yeah, Serpent Shrine, right?
Is that when did the elevator smush you?
No, it just it went.
What was the first elevator? What was the first elevator they put in that smushed you?
I can't. Have they ever?
Yeah, I feel like there's only one. Oh, it's maybe it has happened earlier than this, but I feel like Antorus, the one that took you up to the spaceship council. That one smushed you. You couldn't stand at the spot and jump after it came down. It would if you just stood there, it would just smush you.
So they hot patched it at some point.
Oh, it's funny though.
They hot patched it because
really.
Yeah, unfortunately, but those horrible people you bring to raids.
Idea to begin with, but how do you do that? How do you come up with the who said that? Okay, we had elevators. You know what would really improve the player experience is if it freaking kills people if they stand there.
Well, it was funny because you could just fucking life grip somebody underneath or swap blast them underneath.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Lynkz probably knows all about that, right?
That's why I know they hot patched it. Like it
That's what I
ruined.
was about
That's
to say. That's probably what he was getting ready to
that's when I stopped raiding. Like we were talking about, you get to those end of the raids where it was fun still going. They took that out. I'm like, well, we got AOTC. They took that out.
we're
I'll
done.
see you next expansion.
No more rating.
When do they when does Swap Blaster come in? Is that's
Wad.
not until way late, right?
It's WAD.
Is it WAD? Okay, yeah.
It's made
So-
from the WAD vendor. In
That's
the little
probably why you
city.
don't have the fire in you to get top level in TBC.
No.
You just can't troll yet.
Yeah. Well, now
I
you
mean,
mention this.
you have some ways you can find.
So let's go to a clip here, because this is my experience so far with TBC. Apparently people rushed to 70, and now that they rushed to 70, they came back to Hellfire. So it was yesterday, day before, either way, I kept running into just hordes of Alliance just running around because I'm playing
Alliance like that.
Yeah, Alliance are just like that apparently, right? They just travel in packs and kill people, or all the 70s that hit level 70 and nothing else to do, they're just dive bombing out there.
Right.
So
And that's just an Alliance thing. Like Hackd totally wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
if he was
totally.
Horde.
Yeah.
PvP.
right, because I feel like in TBC
Definitely not.
Horde's got more class.
Yeah.
All right, so this is I don't know how many times I've been dive bombed by these like two warriors that are in their full like gear or whatever. Maybe they don't even have gear. They're 70 and they're just like one-shotting me.
Yeah.
But here I'm just going along questing, and then just watch kind of the right corner of the screen. Like, so it was just a friendly floating down, but right away, like, I panic and flip my screen around. Like, what the hell?
Look at his face too. He fucking gets super serious for a second. He's like, oh,
Right? Like,
We're under attack.
I've got,
motherfucker, head on the swivel. Look at this. Fucker, head on the swivel.
so,
funny.
like, now
I'm
I'm
in
just
danger.
paranoid.
Yeah.
Something I don't enjoy with Discord is I can't take a screenshot now in WoW and post it directly into Discord because it's too big of a file.
Yeah, I think you have to like pay for that.
Into which Discord?
Any Discord, because I don't have the Nitro. It only allows
Right.
me to upload files so big, and my screenshots now are too big of a file to even paste a screenshot.
Yeah, I paid for that a while back.
Yeah, that's weird that the screenshots are though. I never had any problem posting screenshots.
Well, here's the thing: are you playing at 4K?
Possibly. I don't know. I've got a really wide screen too, so I think it might be so many pixels. Like,
I guess I also never post like full screenshots. I always snip. I always
Okay.
use the snip tool to
That's what I do too.
yeah, so it's probably lesser. But I also have paid for Nitro at this point.
so maybe that'll, because there was another picture I took where I turned around and like 40 Horde just ran over me. Or no, 40 Lions just ran over me. Like, I turned and there was no way I was going to be able to stop that. So I just like,
Just take a picture for the memories.
all right.
Love it.
And then we also got the PvP Brawl coming up. It's going to be Warsong Scramble. So
I do like that one.
Warsong's probably one of my favorite ones. And then this one, came out when I was playing Druid, so I basically just ran flags over and over and over. Because this one's going to be 3 flags up at a time for each faction. It's not going to stop you from capping. It's just kind of a speed capping game. So
Speed thing.
nice little quick one for you flag runners out there. We got a new fun micro holiday. I say fun with a fake tone because that's what these micro holidays are. It's going to be
I'm sure it'll be a blast.
the 1,000 Needles Boat Bash. It's going to run from today, June 6th through June 8th. And if you go down to 1,000 needles nowadays, it's kind of flooded. It's a bunch of boats and stuff. It's not the desert it was back in the TBC era. But there's like 5 little mini quests you can do down there. Make sure you pick up fishing, because you will need fishing to go down there to do this for one of the mini events. You don't have to have it leveled up. You just need to have it in general. But one's going to be picking junk out of the water with fishing. One's going to be juggling like a ball on your head like a seal on one of the boats. Killing some people. You don't get anything out of this besides a little bit of entertainment if you're somebody that just wants to see different things in WoW. So go check it out. This will probably be one I skip, but
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah, this will be the one that I skip.
right. Because did you
Totally.
do the Spore
I-
Guard one, the other
No,
one we
yeah,
had
like-
not too long ago?
Yeah, like I totally do all the other ones for sure. 100%.
I didn't even know they existed. So
Right.
I mean,
well,
I'm lying. I don't do them. But
if they gave something like, I wouldn't be offended if they put a mount in there, a tabard. If somebody else got it that I didn't, like, I don't know why they don't throw some kind of carrot out there. A pet for the pet battle Andy's out there, like.
right.
All right, so
The
yeah,
Murloc of the world.
right. We'll have to get that guy back here the next time we get a pet battle thing coming up.
Yeah.
But recap for the WoW events this week: we got the World Quest bonus event, Dark Moon Fair, PvP Brawl with Warsong Scramble, and then this 1,000 Needles Boat Bash micro holiday. All right, so PvP kind of had a deep dive kind of with Venruki interviewing Holinka this week. Did you guys watch in this video or see any of this?
I didn't watch the video, but I did. I just read through the like live blog recap.
Right, so a couple quick hits on this that I noticed or saw is one, the way he kept saying this expansion is going, or this patch is going a lot longer than they expected.
Yeah.
Made it sound like it's going to keep going a lot longer than they expected too. Like, so it didn't look like he was confident about it coming up anytime soon. And he was kind of disappointed in how long it's been too. So,
Well, he also has very little say in that because, like, he's the PvP guy, right? And like,
yeah.
they're gonna have some tuning things, but they're not. They don't necessarily have to wait on a 0.1, a 0.0 patch for that. So he's just kind of waiting on everything else. So his thing is probably just, hands are tied. He wants to give zero information on when it could possibly, because he has no say in it and he has no clue, because dependent on PvE content as to when 9.1 will be coming out, and
Right.
system design and all that shit.
And he did say they're looking into figuring a way to lower off heals.
That I'm excited for, because we need off heal nerfs from the hybrid specs,
Yeah.
like
So he did
Ret
acknowledge
Pally,
that is a
Feral Druid,
problem.
Enhancement
So
Shaman, Shadow Priest.
just in PvP, that's cool. Don't touch
Uh,
in PvE.
No, definitely
No.
do. Like, Ret Pally should not be healing that much. Feral Druid shouldn't heal that much. Like, healers heal. Because just overall, throughout the game, like, hybrid classes do way too much healing.
I'm thinking more about Protection Paladin and
Well,
Tank the heal.
Yeah, but that's not hybrid. You're a tank. We're talking about DPS hybrid off healing.
still, that might be a thing too. Because what, the MDI, not the MDI, the arenas, like that one dude played prop paladin in a healer as a comp.
Yeah. I mean, it only worked because he was really fucking good at it.
Right.
And that was after one of the PvP specific prop pelly nerfs to Word of Glory.
Right.
And then another one came soon after, but
And he kind of pointed out that they don't want long arena matches. Like, that's the last thing they want to see.
I think that's pretty much everybody, right?
Yeah.
And it's been like that for years. Like, people have always talked about
Like
that.
at the beginning of this patch, like it was either you destroy someone or you get destroyed, and that was actually fun.
It was fun. It was frustrating, but like,
Yeah, you get over it.
it was
You
fun.
for the
Yeah,
next game.
you queue for the next game, destroy somebody, and then you're over it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Right.
I mean, I still, up until the later part of this patch, you know, even once it started to kind of die down, and there was a little bit more survivability with gear and such, I was still having fun because the games were still explosive, but they were still less of a just insta one shot. And I was still having fun with it there, but now it's just between all the off healing from Feral Druid and Shadow Priest and Enhancement Shaman. Like, when an Enhancement Shaman, you get them down to 20% HP, and then they pop Ascendance and they're just full health. Like, they pop Chain Harvest with Ascendance and they're full health. Like, that's not cool. Or you get a Druid really low and then they just heal for 40% of their HP passively from, like, a frenzied regen effect that they didn't even press. You know, shit like that. Like, all the passive healing and hybrid off healing needs to go.
Right, because that was something where it's hard to kind of counter a passive rather than an active ability that you're like, okay, he did this, I do this. But there's too many just gimmies in the game too. And he basically said when they try and take that swing at the off heals and they want to make it harder for healers too, he said they'd rather weigh on the side of it being too lethal. And he's like, people got to die. Like, we'd rather have people die faster and then go the other way than have it lasting half-hour matches. And
I just really don't want them to fucking press the overkill button like they always do with literally everything ever. Like, instead of doing, and they've talked about this and they've done it for PvP, but the way he was talking about healing nerfs, it sounded like they were going to compound way too many nerfs and it's just going to be terrible. Because that's what they do, especially in PvE. They just gut things instead of doing small tuning patches.
Yeah, because at a point, like if you make healing too hard, at a certain point, it's not worth it to have a healer, you know?
Yeah. Right. But like, I always look at Sub Rogue, like at the beginning of this patch, where it was, it was pretty good, and then they just mega gutted it. Instead of making like 2 of the 5 nerfs, they made 5 of the 5 nerfs, and then Sub was just garbage in PvE. Complete trash.
Right. Well, hopefully they don't go too hard with it, and we'll see how PvP interacts with these new raid weapons that are coming out here. Like, usually
the
some
item
becomes
level is going to
gimmicky,
be
right?
well, the item level is going to be way lower than PvP.
Well, it depends if you push higher in PvP compared to PvE, right? Because it's a 13 swing is a mythic to a heroic, or
Well, so say you're doing mythic. Like right now, a mythic weapon drop would be 226. So to buy a PvP one would be 220 outside of PvP. But in PvP, it would be 230. Math. 233. That's a big jump.
right? So okay, so I've got the item levels. What's PvP item levels?
I was doing that with like current patch. I don't know.
All right, so heroic is going to be 239 baseline. So there's not going to be a 239 piece.
Well, also I think like I'm assuming 1600 rating would be an equivalent upgrade to heroic based on like this season's. 1600 is way less effort than grinding out heroic raid week after week hoping for a weapon drop.
So Duelist, is that 2200 or 2K?
2K.
Okay, so Duelist is going to be baseline 249. And it's going to be 259 in PvP. So in PvP, the Duelist gear is going to be equivalent to the last 2 bosses on the raid.
In heroic?
In Mythic. So Mythic last 2 bosses is going to drop baseline gear that would be the same as 2K PvP in PvP.
Yeah, but Duelist is way... I mean,
right.
Based on who... No. I mean, not really. 2K is nothing.
Are you 2K?
For people who call that their content.
Right.
Like, PvPers will get 2K easy.
So 246 baseline would be equivalent to the last 2 bosses in heroic. So AOTC gear is going to be equivalent to what baseline Duelist gear is.
Okay, I mean...
That's about right, in my opinion.
But the PvP weapons are still going to be better than PvE weapons in PvP because of the item level jump. So I don't think the raid weapon. What do you mean?
Wasn't there going to be a change of them like scaling the weapons down, or wasn't there something about that?
I don't think so. Maybe they're not doing the extra weapon upgrade at Gladiator. Other than that, I doubt it. I don't know what they would do to weapons.
Rather than going 6 ranks up like every piece, it looks like they might go 5 ranks up with the weapon. So the weapon won't have that extra bump anymore.
Right. So it won't have the Gladiator bump that puts it at Mythic end boss quality. Because that's how it was before. It was like you just, in order to upgrade it all the way for the weapon, you had to get Glad.
Well, hopefully we'll have good things to come in PvP, because with the devs talking community, and then he even mentioned like how many YouTube videos, like he mentioned like the Scump. Like, am I saying his name wrong? Scoops. Stoops. That guy.
Yeah.
See, I'm good with even people's names.
Yeah.
So his video about like the solo queue, like he referenced how he watched that video. I guess that kind of went viral too. But
yeah,
the fact the developers are watching the content creators' videos and how much they watch and steal stuff from the Morning Wood podcast too. So
oh yeah, totally.
It's nice to hear those things.
Yeah, I don't like Stoops's. I really like anybody in the community that's like pushing for solo queue. I think their implementation ideas are dumb. So I hope that Blizzard can find a way to put it in, but in the right way. So I don't really love the idea of solo queue without it being. It just has to be something chill. Like it can't be attached to rated PvP, I think. Without like everything getting super convoluted.
What are your thoughts of them going from a 10 to a 6-man RBGs?
I like that idea, personally.
What about you there, Drew? If it dropped down, would you see yourself getting more into it, or?
I mean, I guess it would be easier, because it would be more like queuing for a Mythic Plus, as far as the numbers go, rather than queuing for a raid,
Right.
which is the numbers now. It'd be interesting to see the actual breakdown of what your tank healer DPS would be for that, though.
So he did mention too that like doing that on the normal maps they have right now just isn't feasible because apparently they tested it a little bit and they tried to see what it would look like. So he said they wouldn't be doing it on the normal maps, and if they did it, they'd go all in on it, where they would probably replace the 10 with the 6 and not have 2 standalones.
Yeah, he was saying he would rather it be a separate game mode, and in that case, he would rather just replace the 10v10.
But I mean, at that point, it's not even. I mean, what's kind of cool now is like you can go and you can queue in regular battlegrounds, at least get a feel of them, you know, just with pugs or whatever. And then you go, in my opinion, you can go in and at least you know the map layout, right? But if you're starting something brand new that you can't test out and everything, and it's just for 6v6, that also kind of makes it harder for the regular person to get into it, I think.
Right, learn the strats where it doesn't have like the looking for raid type effect comparable to raid.
I mean, we could also just go back to RBGs being dead and be fine with that.
Yeah, honestly, like the Rated Battlegrounds revival
Strictly gear based
is completely pushed by rating, right?
Yeah,
because it's easier to get an RBG rating than it is to get an arena rating right now.
And it had nothing to do with people enjoying PvP or enjoying RBGs. It was strictly that they got gear for PvE content.
Not only that.
Or for arena.
Not only that, but it's way easier to carry someone when there's 9 other people, right? So you know a lot of these are paid carries then. Like a ton of them probably.
I don't think anybody really pays for RBG carries. If you're going to pay for a carry, you're going to pay for a 2s or 3s carry because it's way cheaper and way easier, like as far as a professional doing it.
Maybe. I mean, like it would be the same as like getting carried in Mythic Plus versus raids. There are people that get carried in raids that pay for that carry, you know?
Yeah, but there's also like 2s is a thing where like I could go queue with a fucking rogue booster that just one-shots everybody at up to 1800 rating, which I did. Like that happened easy. Like those motherfuckers do it easy. Like I've watched those guys push like straight up hard carry somebody to 1800 in less than an hour.
Well,
I feel like getting a group together for RBGs to like do that boosting is a lot harder to do when you could probably just do 2s with them, boost them just as easy.
Right, so I guess different variables there rather than trying to find 9 people to get the money spread out to, though. Like, so it's a lot more to.
Yeah, and I mostly mean that like 2s boosting is a lot bigger than RBG boosting, for sure. Just in general.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think that the Rated Battlegrounds rating should be different than the arena rating because
shouldn't be attached to the upgrades like it is.
It's like completely different, right? It's like it's like having your Raider IO score matter for your rating, in my opinion.
Right.
I kind of wish it went the other way. I kind of wish I could get in 2 Mythic Pluses with my AOTC, but I could have AOTC, and if I don't have KSM, I won't get an invite. Like it doesn't correlate. I wish it did, but
yeah, but I mean that's kind of good, in my opinion.
I mean, it's different content.
Because it's just so much of a different skill set.
Yeah,
and like you could get AOTC. That's fine. That's awesome.
Well, especially think about it like as a tank, especially think about it as a tank. Raid tank, nothing, dude. Like raid tank, except there's always those like couple bosses in a raid, but for the most part, you stand in the crotch of a big giant monster and fucking press your shield block on cooldown. Like, raid tanking is nothing. Mythic plus tanking, it's a fucking lot. Yeah.
It's definitely a difference. But like you said, there are a few bosses that are really difficult. But yeah, for the most part, if you do what you're supposed to do, there's not a lot of movement involved usually.
Most raids have that, like, 1 or 2 bosses that tanks actually have to do something. Like, Sire is probably one of the hardest tanking raid bosses I've seen in a long time. And I've never even tanked it. I can just tell that it's fucking...
Yeah, it's just annoying because there's so many variables. So
I always think of, like, Nighthold, Star Augur. Nighthold, the tanks had to run around and do shit. That was, like, the only one in that raid.
Right, with how many times our tanks got booped off the side. I realized it became a tank fight once. Oh, reset. Another tank got booped off the ledge by the flying sword. So,
Yeah.
all right, good deal. So
Those do not correlate.
we'll wrap it up for PvP stuff there. Let's go into TBC. We got the first week of TBC since the launch. So last we talked, Drew, Paladins had no mana. TBC sucks. Where are you at now?
well, TBC didn't suck. Pre-patch sucked.
Okay.
TBC is actually, I'm having so much fun. And I think the main reason is just the gear increase. It's like I did a few quests and now I am almost equivalent to the guys that are Nax geared.
Right. You feel so, like, the power gains you feel are so huge.
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with threat anymore. I don't have a problem with mana, which were the 2 biggest things going to those dungeons. I have all my level 60 spells, which is huge. It's just fun. And there is so much content in just the first zone. When you go in, there's so many quests. Like, I was thinking about this. I'm like, I don't know if I did these many quests in the Shadowlands leveling experience period.
Oh yeah, no, like that was
and that's
probably it. Like all of Hellfire is probably the entire Shadowlands.
Yeah, and the one part that's weird is like, now Hack's telling me that it gets better, but going from 60 to 61 is a grind. Like, you complete quests, and you're expecting your experience bar to go up a little bit, right? You complete a quest, and you're not sure if it did. You're like, did that go up? Because
Get like an eighth of a bar.
Right. But it's fun, and I don't know. I'm having a blast with it.
All right, good deal. Glad to see it turned around there. And I think Zygor guides, so I've been using that to level in TBC. The Hellfire one had 212 different things going on. And even in Classic, like, each zone only had like 70 to maybe a big one having 100. So it had double like a normal Classic zone.
Yup.
All right. And then what about yourself there, Hackd? How are things going in?
I'm having a blast. Actually, a lot of my focus has been on making money, like making gold. I still don't have Fast Boy mount.
So you're gonna pick that up over flying, or try and get both, or what's your plan there?
Well, I mean, getting both for sure, because I'm only 63. You're gonna make a lot more gold, like, on your way to 70. But I literally, like, I went through the portal into Outland with 20 gold. So I was not close.
How much gold do you need for your epic?
600.
Okay, because I know that
mount plus the training.
Yeah, because I know in Hellfire I'm getting like 2 gold per quest usually.
Yeah.
So you'll get there pretty fast.
Yeah, since I'm pretty much there actually. I think I have 600 gold. So I went from 20 to 600. already, and that's with a lot of auction housing, with jumping on the skinning train early.
Right.
Made me tons of gold, but.
And flying's the same as the fast boy, right? Like it's 700 for both, like for your fast ground speed and your flying, I think it's 700 a piece, right?
I think the useless slow flying is that, but I think the actual fast flying is like
yeah,
2K.
fast flying's 54. Like one of our guys just hit it and he dropped 54 on the epic, like the 300% or whatever it is.
280, whatever. Well, there's the first one you get is what, like 150%.
Yeah.
Or
I thought back in TBC your mount speed was determined by your mount.
Possibly.
Like
so maybe the mount's the expensive one, and not the training.
No, the training is the expensive part. I don't know.
Because I remember there used to be a difference between getting like an actual mount that can go faster.
Right. No, I know what you're talking about. For sure. But I think you still have to train to like be able to ride a mount of that.
Oh, okay. So normal flying is 800 gold. Normal flying mounts are 100 gold. Epic flying training is 5k. Epic flying mount is 1k.
Okay, so you need to get the training and the mount. Then.
Right.
Yeah.
And the difference now is when you get the training, all your mounts go as fast as your highest training.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case in BC. I think you just need the training to be able to ride a mount of that caliber. I might be wrong. Like maybe
that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe you train, because I think even if I train epic riding, like my blue mount that I have is still gonna go 60%. It's not gonna start going 100. So it is still tied to the mount.
So the difference is in retail, all mounts or whatever your highest speed is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's a huge speed increase from normal to epic. It's 60% increase for flying, 280 for epic flying, and then special mounts like Ashes of Alar and the PvP Nether Drakes are 310.
Wait, what are they? What are the speeds?
So epic flying 280.
280.
Normal flying 60. But then
60, like just flat 60?
60%, yeah.
Okay, that's okay. That's what I thought. That's the useless one. It's like only useful if you want to go up, like if you want to skip a hill or something. Otherwise, you're better off just being on your epic mount.
Right, and then the special mounts, the ones like Ashes of Alar and the PvP Nether Drakes have 310, so extra 30% bump for the special mounts.
So that's not based on any kind of training. That's just based on the mount, like Drew was saying.
Yeah, so yeah, druids win on that thing because druids get epic.
Yeah, screw druids. Who plays a druid? I mean, come on.
I mean, like classic ruined druids for me. Like, I was afraid. I was afraid to do it again in TBC. Like, I haven't touched that one.
Are you leveling Feral?
Maul.
No, I'm doing a shaman.
Yeah, he's shaman.
Oh, right. Okay, because I heard there was like DPS issues with Feral druids leveling right now.
So
no.
I went on it last night to try it out, and it's more efficient than my shaman is. Like, I don't have to worry about mana. I can pop a rejuve every once in a while, but like, and that's with tank gear. So
yeah, people are mad that the power shifting isn't working perfectly as it did before. So the power shifting is when you run out of energy or whatever, you can shift out of cat form and then back into cat form, and it starts you with like 60 energy. So you can just, you're out of energy, you shift out, shift back in, you have more energy. But now the shifting takes longer, in between shifting out. Like there's a global cooldown basically, and that's why people are saying, "Oh, it's terrible, unplayable." Like, no, it's fine.
Like that should be a thing. You should make it so this level 40 level is not good at 70. Like it shouldn't be the BIS. They should break the functionality of it.
Well, that's not even the part that makes it like, because that adds 20 energy to it. There's a talent that they take that gives you 40 energy. So in total, you get 60 if you had the helm. But I don't understand the issue.
Right, so TBC is going good. You guys have been doing questing, dungeons. I guess where are you spending your time on this?
I've done a few dungeons. Like the first night, we just spammed through ramparts a few times. Did some blood furnace. And that's really all we've done. Is I've joined a couple ramparts runs because I want that fucking sword, but it still hasn't dropped. I haven't done a dungeon since. Just been questing.
Yeah, I've just been doing questing because my eyes got all big because of the gear that I'm getting from questing. And then I'm like, oh shit, well, I'm just going to keep on doing this. And once I get up to speed, then I'm going to go into a dungeon.
Right.
So I started dungeon grinding because that's apparently what all the sweaties in the guild are doing is you do dungeons until you get your rep to right before honored, and then you go to the quests because you can't get dungeon rep after honored. So you would basically grind dungeons, then go do the quest to push you to revered. Is I guess what they've been doing. So I did all these ramparts and then blood furnace with them, and I was like, all right, we'll switch from enhancement. I'm gonna go resto. I'm just gonna spend my time in dungeons. The first couple hours were rough because I went in there with like 2,300 mana with these just stam items they give you for the boosty characters. Like, here's 50 stam because I'm gonna be a shaman tank and I don't need any other stats. But
Yeah.
by the end of the night, like I had
garbage
from 23. By the time I hit 62, I had 7k mana. So like night and day, I went from like all my mana being gone after 2 heals to now I can just put Earth Shield on somebody and run around and just drop totems.
Well, also you get huge amounts of stamina from like just from the new gear.
Like from it being a main stat, the only stat I have, to something being a secondary stat and still having 3 times the amount of stamina.
Still having more, tons more.
Right. So like
The entire boost gear thing is like, we decided on that.
Oh, that was Craig from Frostmourne that works at Blizz part-time. So
Right.
Fuck Craig.
Suck it, Craig. All right, so good things to come here in TBC. It sounds like everybody's having a good time out there. It's raffle time, right? We got the raffle for May. May's raffle for the Mike community.
Yep.
We'll have one of these guys, I guess.
All right. You and me, Drew.
Bring out the ticket guys in the stream here.
Go ahead, do it, Hakkd.
Alrighty. Select winner. Got it.
You guys got the stream pulled up. I got the ticket guys still as an image.
Let's see.
I'll be moved right now.
We'll have to get you a character there, Drew.
I don't have a thing. I'll have to get on Cat. Be like, hey.
I don't know if I'm too fond of my character.
I know. Like, I kind of just made that for him.
All right. And the winner is Candercane for Guild Quest Pick 2 from Maradon.
All right, and you must be present to win, so we'll give her 3 minutes to say something in chat.
Oh, she's present. She's here.
Well,
You know she is.
let's see if she walked away.
Congratulations, Candercane.
Yeah, congrats.
Oh,
It's this 2 in a row.
Just goes to show, guys, do the guild quests.
Yep.
Do the guild, as I don't do the guild quests very much, just because I don't get on WoW. But you know, I'll be a hypocrite and tell you do the guild quests.
I try to, but yeah, getting on WoW's tough nowadays.
Well, like I have an issue where it's like the boy that cried wolf effect, where if I do it, people don't trust that I did it. So like, I'm kind of torn whether to do it or not. So,
from your fucking Photoshop days of for anybody who doesn't know, they used to post, or people used to post the guild quests, and Lynkz would just Photoshop somebody else's screenshot.
You know what though? In my opinion, if you put that much effort into it, it should count.
So
right? It'd probably be faster to go actually do it in game than it would be for me.
Right?
To
like that, like 4 hours or something, right?
Yes, exactly. I don't have all these pre-edited different versions of the tickets and my characters that I can just insert now.
Oh yeah, totally. I don't know.
All right, good deal. Well, congrats there, Candor. Reach out to Drew or Kat or somebody in charge. You're an officer. I guess you could probably just do it yourself, right? Is that a thing?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's gonna, I guess, wrap up the WoW stuff. Unless you guys got anything else on the WoW side of things. Oh man. All right. So before we go deep down this rabbit hole, we'll just roll into final thoughts. Drew, we'll start with you.
I'm fucking dead.
I'm just really excited about TBC up until the point 9.1 drops.
Yeah. I'm hoping that 9.1 is good, but if it's not, then at least we have TBC.
Dude, if it's not, what have they been doing for the past year?
Trying to backstaff all the people there, are actually just keeping everything afloat. Nobody's building.
No, I mean
stuff.
what they've been doing for the past year is like coming out with new content. But if they come out with that new content and it's not good, then
Yeah.
all right.
Well, I mean, like Shadowlands was good content in my opinion. Like it was pretty good. So
that has issues, but yeah, I agree.
yeah, the quality is fine. It's just the quantity is wanting.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. So that was your final thoughts there, Hakkd? You rolled it all in?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, good deal. Well, those of you that stick it out with us and watch the full morning show on Sundays, do us a favor. Comment in the description. What do you guys want to see? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that stuff to help us with the algorithm. Hakkd should be potentially going live here on Twitch shortly, so his information will be down in the description too. Throw him a follow when he starts up and running. Drew and Kat have something coming here in the near future, like potential, like streaming of both you guys, or is this?
We had one on Friday.
Okay.
I enjoyed it a lot, by the way.
Is that just on Cats then, or are you doing yours too?
Yeah, it'll be just on Cats. Honestly, I was tired as fuck. So hopefully on the other ones, I'll be a little bit more energetic.
All right, so don't watch that VOD, but watch for future live sessions. We'll put Heal to Death stuff in the comments below also. I still need you guys to reach out to us and give us clips you want to see. If you guys don't show us clips, you're just going to keep watching what shit show happens to me during the week. Like, my PTSD of mages floating down.
Your clips.
Hold on. Give me one moment.
If you show us your clips, we will give you virtual beads. How about that?
We might even give out raffle tickets.
Oh.
We integrated? Look. Oh, any ideas what Kat can do for a character for you, for your little like emoji holding a ticket? Like,
Oh yeah.
We'll think about it. Maybe it will be maybe it'll be that moose except for without the antlers.
maybe she makes you a ticket with like lightning bolts. Like
There you go.
maybe Thunderfury is this like towely looking like ticket guy. All right, is Hakkd looking something up for now, or is it
Yeah.
first?
Yeah, here. Here, I posted it in Discord. Totally forgot about this one, dude. That is unfortunate.
I'm the only priest leveling shadow that I see.
So I'm laying dead because of these stupid bombs in Blood Furnace. And this is what happens after I get rezzed.
I'm the only priest leveling shadow that I see.
No, I saw some Shadow Priests.
It's been a long time since I asked you this question.
That would be quite surprising because Shadow's pretty.
All right, all right.
What? What? Dude! I was trying to disarm it. Holy fuck!
I don't
the
exactly
radius
understand
on
what
that,
happened
dude.
there, man.
Radius on that, dude. So I died to the bombs, and I got rezzed, and I tried to disarm this other bomb, but I got too close. I
Okay.
instantly died again. What? What?
Nice.
Dude!
Pro
I was
move.
trying to disarm it. Holy fuck, the radius on that, dude. Yeah, I was mad. I hate that dungeon. That room in that dungeon is terrible.
So we were flying through those with a Shadow Priest because he would MC the bomb guys and he would just like wreck the whole group. So like,
Oh, that's why he was wrecking the group, because those bombs do stupid damage.
yeah, like
That
our
makes
priest
sense.
let in damage by ridiculous amounts, and that's all he did was he would MC, we'd all sit back, and he would basically clear the pack why that guy got killed by the other like 5 around there. So, but then if he got interrupted, it would come over and kill him right away. So I guess mind control has some kind of effect where like during its channel there's like a 2% chance or 10% chance that each like second tick for it to resist while it's being channeled. So there's something along those lines of it's not just gonna be
like-
this full duration.
Right. I didn't realize that it had tick rates.
All right, good deal. So I guess Hackd, you got a schedule yet for when you're streaming, or is it hit and miss?
It's hit and miss. Just random. Make sure if you are interested, just hop over to Twitter and follow me there. I post every time I go live.
All right, good deal. And then Drew, Friday nights tentatively, you and Kat show?
Yeah, her schedule's changing because it's summertime and Logan's home, and we want to spend the daytime with him.
Okay.
So, so yeah, she'll be doing more streams at night, and then sometimes they'll have me involved. So,
All right, good deal. So follow Heal to Death, watch for Drew to pop up, make an appearance. We, of course, will be here every Sunday, 8 a.m. Central-ish for some morning wood. So those of you that want to wake up some morning wood on Sundays, we'll be here for that. Otherwise, if you want to catch me live being harassed by Alliance and TBC for the next few weeks, I'll be out there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, hiding in corners of Outland. So you can catch me there. All right. Appreciate you, those of you that stopped out. We will talk to you again next week. Have a good one.
So.
yeah.